What's up YouTube, RonnRetrobro here, and today we're gonna do the review of the Steam controller. Now there's a lot to this controller to go over, so I'm gonna try to make this as simple as possible. So what you see here is Steam Big Screen. This is the best way for the controller to function when you're on Steam. If you try to go through Steam through the normal mode, which is where a lot of people normally go, the controller actually tends to have some problems and tries to use the game as if it was just mouse and keyboard or Xbox 360 controller, anything like that. But going into this mode makes it naturally react to the controller. When you buy the controller, it'll tell you this the first time you open up the screen, so it's nothing to get confused with. Now what you see here, you can do a lot with this controller. You can change it to mouse joystick, just a regular mouse to the left side, a regular mouse to the right side, button pads. There's tons of stuff you can do with it, and it's insanely overbearing. So if you're not really good at tinkering with things, I would suggest you go to the Steam community. The reason I say Steam community and not the recommended is because a lot of the developers that made functions to use the Steam controller for did a terrible job, and they don't work very good. It didn't work well for Dota 2, especially didn't work well for Fallout 4, but the community made different configurations that work extremely well. So for any game you want to play, just go to the community, look through some of the ones, read the descriptions, and see which controller style sounds like it actually works for you, and give those a try, because they all work really well. I'm going to show you some gameplay showing you like how the controller worked for some games and what my experience was, and explain that with you. So since we're already on Steam, let's go ahead and start with Fallout 4, and I'll give you some details on how the Steam controller worked with that. So here's the Steam controller and on Fallout 4 in a nutshell from my personal experience. Good, really good. Now, issues that I have with it. The issues that I have are all my fault. Nothing wrong with the controller at all. Everything deals with muscle memory and the fact that I don't know how to use a mouse. So when using a mouse wheel, because it's more sensitive than the right analog stick, everything moves a lot faster. But when you get used to it, you find out you can do really cool stuff. Like when you flick the right mouse pad, it actually allows you to do like a 360. So you turn all the way around, and then if you flick it a little bit, you can do a 180. So I've been playing around with this, haven't completely mastered it yet, but you can do really cool and sexy things like quickly turn and shoot somebody that's behind you or to the side of you, and all this cool stuff like that when you get really used to it, which is really something I want to master because it's a lot of fun and it feels really cool doing it. Now for those of you that's played on consoles for all your life, you know that with the right stick, because it's stiff in FPS games, if somebody's behind you like that and you turn around as fast as you can, you're gonna take some damage with the amount of time it takes you to turn around. This actually works so quickly that if you master it, you will be able to turn around when you know somebody's behind you and hit them before you take damage. Where with, you know, a console controller, if you know somebody's behind you, you're turning around as fast as you can, but by the time it takes you to do so, you're going to take damage. You may not die, but you're going to get hit a little bit. This controller actually allows you to get around without taking the hit of damage, which is quite impressive, and it actually makes me understand why people like a mouse now. I still can't personally use a mouse, but this is a good middle ground, and as far as accuracy goes, it's better than a controller, but it isn't better than a mouse. So let's go ahead and check out our next game and see how it works on there. So the next test was done with League of Legends. I want to do Dota 2, but I forgot to record it. Now, the difference between League of Legends and Dota 2 is Dota 2 can fully use the controller, hotkeys, camera, etc. But because this isn't a Steam game, League of Legends, you can use the controller to control the camera and all that good stuff, but you have to use the keyboard for your hotkeys. Now, you guys are probably thinking, what's the point? But it works for me because I'm not good at typing or anything like that, so whenever I have to use a keyboard button, I have to look down. And these type of games that move like this, you don't want to have to look down. So being able to control my camera and attack with the controller allows me to always look at the screen, and then when I'm moving slow, like you see like on screen right here, to get to my destination, I can quickly look down, press the hotkey to load up my special move. Then when I get to the destination, just simply use the right trigger and fire like you saw me do right there. So it allows me to keep my eye on the battlefield at all times and crucial moments. Then when they're moving all slow like this, I can just look down and quickly press a hotkey for anything I want, heals, attacks, etc. So if you have an issue with mouse and keyboard, this is a really good alternative. I like it a lot, and I will be using it more to see if I can get better at League of Legends. So Steam controllers have an additional perk, one that's been slightly nerfed with today's new update. Thanks for that, Steam, but an awesome perk nonetheless. So let me explain. What you can do with your Steam controller is you can use the controller as a mouse, like you kind of see right here on different websites. Now, there are some catches to it now that that new update happened that were never an issue before the update. So let me go over the new catches. The catch is, now that the new update happened, Steam has to be open for you to use the controller like that as a mouse. Also, some programs that you have open that you're using won't allow you to use the controller as a mouse. So, since I'm recording this with Camtasia Studios, while I did the recording portion that you see right now, I couldn't use the controller as a mouse like that. But when I wasn't in Camtasia and Steam was open, I was able to play League of Legends and all that stuff using my controller as a mouse. Now, for some of you, you may be thinking, but Retro, what's the point of doing that? And the point of doing that is it's more convenient for me personally, because as you know, I'm on a laptop, not a standard PC, and I don't have the best setup in my room. My laptop literally sits on my bed, and I sit at a chair in my room, so my bed is used as a desk for my laptop. So when I want to type or use the little mouse pad thing that you have on laptops, I have to constantly stay hunched over, typing and scrolling and stuff like that, which for long hours, since I'm always on the computer, can be a bit of a pain. So it's nice to actually be able to sit back in my chair and use the controller as a mouse to just scroll through, click through things, go on YouTube videos and all that good stuff, and only stay hunched over when I'm going to type comments and stuff like that. So it's very convenient and very nice. So my final verdict on the Steam controller, it's awesome. I definitely think it's worth the buy. You can do a lot of stuff with it offline. You can do a lot of stuff with it online. It works really well for FPS games as long as you practice with it and get used to it like you would with a mouse. And for games that I never had the opportunity to play with mouse and keyboard because I'm not good using mouse and keyboard, such as League of Legends and Dota 2, it now gives me the versatility to actually be able to do so and to try learning those games. And I love having the freedom and the open opportunity to try new things like this and enjoy it. So I would say it's definitely worth the buy. Also, keep in mind, though $50 is kind of pricey for a controller, that's how much you would pay for an Xbox One or PS4 controller anyway. But this has more function than both those controllers, works a little closer to a mouse, so it's like a mouse / controller, and you get 2 free games with it. You get Rocket League and Portal 2. So overall, definitely worth the buy. But I want to hear your opinions in the comment section below. What do you think of the Steam controller so far? Is it worth the buy for you, or nah, you just rather stick with what's already comfortable? Anyhow, please put your comments down below. I've been RetroBro, and that is your review for today. Like the video? Well, why don't you check out RonnRetrobro.com, where I showcase my favorite YouTubers, videos from subscribers like yourself, the latest in news. You can listen to the music I'm bumping, and I post my blog, stories, and news entries here. It's a place for us gamers to kind of get to know each other more and kind of let smaller YouTubers like us get better noticed.